recording. Into the time of it. Okay. I'll pause for a sec. Did I bash your knee? Okay. Go.
Hello and welcome to VMC TV. And this is the show where I help you, real business people, to raise your profile and get your business famous. And today my guest is Marie Claire Byard. Welcome, Marie Claire Byard. You're from Now Media Live.
Yes, delighted to be here, thank you.
You do video, you do social media. What else do you do?
Yeah, video photography, social media. I came up, it took me 6 months to find out what I do. I'm a live content creator.
Great.
Creating content live. Posting online straight away. So, traditional photographer you get afterwards, mine you get when I leave the event, it's there.
And you want to get more people? You want more clients?
Yes. I want to grow my business.
Okay.
I want to 10x it, if possible. And I'd love your advice on what to do.
Okay. So we've had a bit of a chat to kind of, so I can get to know you a little.
Yeah.
And I always like to do that with people because it's really important to identify the qualities that you bring to social media. Like, because everybody is different and everybody's looking for something different.
Yeah.
And quite often what we're looking for isn't necessarily a different product, but it's a different emotional connection. It's something like a quality.
Okay. Like what
Does
would
that
you
make
buy
sense?
from me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think you probably already know that because you're in social media, so you do know that people tend to buy
People do buy from people.
more from personalities than from, and even your objects, like my computer, Apple, you know, that sort of has a story.
It
There's
does, doesn't it?
Steve Jobs, there's like all the stuff we know about him. Those are qualities that,
Yeah, are you an Apple person or not?
yeah.
You know.
And it may be that it does the same thing as every other computer, but it's got its own little Apple, and it's a story. I'm buying a story.
Yeah.
Every brand has a story.
Yeah.
And every brand has a hero attached to the story. And
Oh,
you're the hero.
hero. The hero of Now Media.
Yeah.
How does that story play out?
Well, having talked to you and got to know you a bit, I've kind of identified some of the qualities, and I think you might agree.
I hope.
that you are a very sensitive, compassionate person, and you're very kind. And you will hold the hand of somebody who's getting filmed. You'll kind of help them pass the fear. So you're really good at listening. You're really good at you care.
And having fun and relaxing
and you're fun.
them.
Yeah.
Just getting them relaxed.
And not everyone is like that.
Mm.
You know, not everyone is going to take the time to get to know someone and to listen to their fears and to hold their hand and to motivate and encourage them.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it?
It is.
Because if they're afraid of the camera, they're not going to look relaxed in front of it.
And I think a lot of people who come to me cite that as their biggest fear.
Really?
Is getting past the camera.
Yeah, we should go send them.
Yeah, exactly. Send them to you. Send them to you.
I'll help them.
And I guess we've also looked at your clients and identified what qualities they might be looking for in you, but also what qualities they might have. So they tend to be women.
Yeah, a lot of women clients, definitely. I think we relate to each other, the challenges of being a woman in business, what gender shouldn't identify, but you know, similar issues that we have, or we don't have that as much confidence, I think, naturally as the men might have, but we build up to it, you know.
Yeah.
But women get on with women so well, you know, we appreciate where each other's coming from.
And you've got kids.
Yeah,
you know, that's another thing.
Yeah, you appreciate the juggle.
Yeah, you're
you
juggling.
know, someone has to run because kids are sick or whatever, you get it.
So you're more understanding.
Yeah.
Perhaps. So you're but you're also pretty laid back and chilled, and you're not really a corporate or a suit. And I like that about you. You know, that's why I like your personality. I like.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I spent years in kind of corporate worlds, and now I love not being in a corporate world and being my own boss to do my work in the hours that suit me in a non-corporate way. You know, for me, one of my simple messages was wearing comfortable shoes.
Yeah. So if somebody is that kind of person, then that's who you're going to really sell to. That's who you're going to best communicate with.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to work in the media as well as everywhere else.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really change. You know, just because it's the media and not real life doesn't mean they're not human beings.
Yeah.
So the people who are going to be attracted to you will have those qualities as well.
Okay.
And a lot of them will actually be very kind, compassionate, sensitive people who just happen to present radio shows or produce radio shows or write for magazines or make television programs.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, I like that Marie Claire. I want her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
So you're always going to be attracting your tribe no matter where you go.
Yeah.
And the approach that you use to communicate with them is actually going to be the same approach that you're using in real life.
Yeah.
And you've become a bit of a master at networking. We know this about you already. So you're really good at networking
And connecting with people.
and connecting with people. So this is just a step up in a way. It's using the same skills that you already have
At another level.
at another level.
Okay.
In that it's another world, perhaps. So it's not like you go to networking events
Yeah.
and you meet people in the flesh, but you're going to be reaching out to people, perhaps, you know, not necessarily in the flesh, not always, but you're definitely going to be using the same skills to connect.
Okay.
So your empathy, your compassion, your sensitivity, your personality, your sense of humor,
Yeah.
all these things you can still use.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, when you frame it like that,
Yeah,
you realise where your strengths are
that's your strength,
to attract your tribe.
to attract your tribe, and you're going to be doing it everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So you're just getting bigger at that. I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen Richard Branson speak.
Yes.
He's still the same person, right? He's
Yeah.
still got the same qualities. He's still
Yeah, fun
that
guy.
big, bold, fun guy with the teeth.
Yeah.
Whether he's at the Pendulum Summit or whether he's promoting his airline or whatever it is he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So you don't want to lose any of that. You don't
Okay.
want to change.
Yeah. So be your authentic self.
Be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Because people already trust you, and I think they want to carry on trusting you. So they don't want to see you totally make yourself over in order to get.
become something different.
Yeah.
And trust. Yeah. If they like and trust you,
Hmm.
they'll buy from
They'll
you.
buy from you.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's that connection, isn't
It's
it?
connection. It's all about connection.
Mm.
It's helping people. You're helping people.
Oh yeah, I've connected so many people
Yeah.
in a networking perspective, you know, without ever getting anything from it. But, well, you do. It
You
comes
do.
back to you.
It comes back, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, in a way.
You've got that "Be Good to People" sticker on
I
your laptop.
do. We both like Ted
We both
Movement.
have
Simple message, isn't
It is simple, and I suppose the next thing to do is to look at, okay, so I'm this person, Marie Claire,
it? Mm.
and I want to attract people who are a bit like me and who resonate with me.
Mm.
And what are we going to use to do that? Well, what we've got is you. We've got your story. What's your story?
Mm.
And we would perhaps look at some of the events in your life that are the high points and the low points.
Okay.
Because that's what story's all about. It's all about the ups and downs, isn't it? It's not about
Yeah.
like, well, I get up every day and I do this and then I go to work. It's kind of like more like, oh my God, this happened and then this happened. It's like,
And this is what happened,
Yeah.
result, or how it
Yeah.
changed in life.
yeah, so various
Okay.
things in your life have really impacted you.
Yeah.
And we talked about some of those, and I know that you've had some real challenges
Mm.
in your life. I know that your brother died,
Yeah.
and
Cancer.
that was a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you kind of have pivotal times like that, and how you cope and how you move on, deal with it, and
Yeah.
get on with your life.
And you had to turn off the life support
Yeah, yeah.
on your birthday.
Yeah, well, I made him wait till the next day.
So that's an unusual situation.
Yeah.
It's an unusual, you know, it's a tragic but also inspiring
Yeah.
event in your life because it kind of pivoted you to
Yeah.
either move on and
Oh, I implants a, well, that's happened. I don't give a shit attitude, if you know my cursing, but
Yeah.
you're like, I just don't care what other people say now. You know, life's short.
Yeah.
Let's get on with it and do it. It does give you, you're less conscious of what other people think.
because you've had some
Yeah.
more serious things to
Yeah,
think about.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Those things pale into significance
it also is a thing that makes you stand out from the crowd, because not everyone has had something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But we can all identify with the sympathy, the empathy, the compassion,
and it doesn't
sensitivity.
More compassionate, to other people's stories as well, and you can empathise with them sincerely.
Yeah,
I suppose would be the word I'm looking for.
And another thing that happened was that your daughter was born with.
Blue.
She was blue.
Full resuscitation, with stopped ICU, had seizures, had suffered lack of oxygen, and was on brain monitor saying 10% brain function if she lived. But anyway, she lived, and then fully functioning brain. But it does traumatise you when you get through that. You're kind of in a haze, thinking, did we just nearly lose her? For years it's like, oh my God, you look at her differently. Yeah, she's alive and well. Yeah, she's 9, healthy 9-year-old now. But yeah, you kind of, my husband benchmarks life from before and after that day. Right. It does. Those pivotal things where it makes you readjust.
And I suppose it brings out, it's a test of character, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it'll either bring out the best or the worst, or both.
Exactly. Yeah.
In a person when they're tested like that.
It does, definitely.
But because you've had these things happen, that makes you interesting to the media, of course, because the media loves a story.
Yeah. And
so you've just got to then have a really good think about, what does that story say about you? When someone is looking at you on television or on listening to you on the radio, and they hear your story, what is the message that you want to share from that?
That I'm understanding, empathetic, compassionate, give people time, not just sticking a camera in their face, and actually get to know them, and get them to trust me and like me. I was recently at an event where, don't take my picture, and by the end of the evening they were smiling in front of me because they warmed to me, trusted me, liked me, and could see I was genuine. I wasn't trying to shove a camera in front of their face when they didn't want it, and appreciated when they weren't comfortable with it. Yeah. And get people's trust in that respect.
So trust is important, isn't it?
Yeah, and having fun with people when you're at an event and taking the photographs. I think joining in. Yeah. I was at a makeup event and people were asking questions, and it's like, I asked a question, like, that was part of the event then. So totally changed people's trust with me. Right. Because I was part of it, or sit down and join in, or have the banter with the audience, and get them just relaxed and comfortable with me.
And I suppose I have to ask you this question. Are you willing to share your stories with the world?
Yeah, I suppose so. I didn't think of it like this, but as you say, everyone has a story, and it's nice to share, and I suppose it'll touch the heart of somebody out there and resonate.
And they might become a client?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you know me fairly well.
Yes.
And you know that I've raised my profile by sharing my stories. Yeah. I've had lots of things happen to me in my life, and I've basically talked about almost all of them.
You've had a great colourful life.
But that means that people are aware of me, and it helps me to, I suppose, define who I am, so that when someone is interested in having a media coach, they know the kind of person I am already, so they kind of know if they like me or not.
Yeah, if you're the one for
them. Yeah, and it's the same with you. People will look at you and go, I like her. She's the one I want. And it's quite often the next thing they think of is like, is she any good?
Yeah.
But I guess you have to be good as well.
Yeah, they buy the person first.
They buy the person first.
And then they can research it. And if they're happy with what they see, they're in.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Never thought of it like analysing my traits like that and using that to attract clients as well.
And would you like to now go away and think about putting your story out there?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Well, come back when you're ready, and we'll do some work.
Now that we know how to pull it all together.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for being my example for today.
Thank you very much for having me. I've learned loads. Nice little synopsis here of myself. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
And if you liked that, we are making some more of these.
Yeah.
So please subscribe and check out my website.
Which we'll put in the link.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
That was quite good because I think that was educational.